Beginning, the baby was born. God chose Mary to be the mother of God. When the baby looked into the face of the mother Mary, he already saw the cross. And when he looked into the face of the father Joseph, the cross was there too. They gave the baby everything the baby needed to grow, and he began to grow. He grew and became a boy. When he was about 12 years old, he went with the mother Mary and the father Joseph to the great city of Jerusalem to keep one of the high holy days. And on the way home, Mary and Joseph discovered that Jesus was not with them. They hurried back to the great city, and when they found him in the temple with the rabbis, they said, "Why did you do this?" Jesus said something very strange. "Didn't you know I would be in my Father's house?" Mary and Joseph did not understand, but they did not forget. Jesus grew and became a man. When he was about 30 years old, he went to the river Jordan to ask his cousin John to baptize him. When Jesus was lifted back out of the dark and chaos of the water, it was as if the Spirit of God came down on him like a dove, and you could hear God saying, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." After Jesus was baptized, he crossed the river Jordan into the desert. He went into the desert to discover more about who he was and what he was going to be. He was tempted 3 times. First, to turn stones into bread, but Jesus said, "No, we need more than just bread to eat." To throw himself off of the temple in Jerusalem and have angels rescue him, but Jesus said, "No, we do not test God." And finally, to become the king of all the kingdoms in the world. But Jesus said, "No, I am to be a king, but not that kind of king." After Jesus was tempted, he went back across the Jordan to begin his work. But what was his work? Remember that it is the time of the color purple, a serious and somber color, but also the color of kings and queens. His work was to come close to people, especially the people no one else would come close to. See, Jesus has come close to this blind man, so close that he has touched the blind man's eyes. When Jesus came close to people, they changed. They could see things they could never see before. They could do things they could never do before. They became well. Jesus also told parables. Finally, he knew that he had to become a parable, so he turned toward Jerusalem for the last time. Today's story is found in Mark chapter 8, verses 22 through 25. Jesus and his disciples came to Bethsaida. Some people brought a blind man to Jesus and begged him to touch and heal him. Taking the blind man's hand, Jesus led him out of the village. After spitting on his eyes and laying his hands on the man, he asked him, "Do you see anything?" The man looked up and said, "I see people. They look like trees, only they're walking around." Then Jesus placed his hands on the man's eyes again. He looked with eyes wide open. His sight was restored, and he could see everything clearly. In the healing part of our story, I wonder how the blind man felt and what he thought when Jesus first took him by the hand. Jesus put spit on the man's eyes, and the man could see, but not well. When Jesus put his hands on his eyes again, his sight was perfect. I wonder why it took Jesus 2 times. I wonder what this might be teaching us about helping people. We can't heal people's eyes by touching them, but I wonder how we can help people with their hurt bodies and hurt feelings. We talked about the fact that Jesus' work was to come close to people, particularly people no one else wanted to come close to. If Jesus came to do this today, I wonder what kind of people Jesus would want to spend time with. Let's sing a new song together with 2 special guest singers from our youth choir.
Whenever Jesus came to town, the hurting people came. He knew just where they hurt the most and took away their pain. The blind could see, the deaf
This week, begin with the Skittles prayer in your Lent in a Bag study. Open your pack of Skittles and either together or by yourself, say a prayer triggered by the color of the candy. For red, a sorry prayer, something that you're sorry for. For purple, pray for someone who is sick. For green, pray for the world. For orange, a thank you prayer. For yellow, pray for anything that you'd like.